Good morning, friends. I'm excited about today. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I don't know why not, but it is humid, but lower temps and cloudy and rainy. So I'm gonna make soup today and I'm excited for that. So that's, I guess, why I'm excited. That's why I got the bacon going. That's actually not in my breakfast that I'm about to eat. I made that for the soup later. And also I know my husband wants to use a little bit of it in his lunch. So I decided to get that taken care of. I pulled some ground beef and some chicken broth out of the freezer. So those are thawing. I've got a chiropractor appointment to go to. I might run a couple of little errands and then we're gonna make soup tonight for dinner and I'm excited about that. Did I mention that I'm excited about that? All right, so I just got done with my chiropractor appointment and I decided I was gonna run into a Dollar General really quick. I got a lot to do today, so this is the only stop I'm making, but I don't get to this particular Dollar General very often. Pretty much, I only am out this way when I go to my appointments, so we're gonna go check it out. I went to another one recently and was kind of pleased with what I found for fall, but they were still putting stuff out, so it definitely varies location to location. So let's go see what they've got for fall. Also, if they've got any summer clearance. Those would be the two things I'd be interested in. Let's go check it out. I definitely don't need any more pumpkins, but this is really cute for $1. Look at the detail. Very cute. These ones I think are 4. Definitely a step up from the Dollar Tree, and theirs are $1.25. Some little beaded garlands with initials. They even have some shiny, sparkly ones if you're into that. These are cute, only $1. Got some different colors. Not too bad on the florals. These stencils are nice. I actually got one just like this from Hobby Lobby. Although I didn't pay much more than that. It was $1.99 plus I got it 50% off, so it was about the same price. These are pretty cute for only $1. Dropping. There's that one. And that one. But the blue is pretty. $3. Gather. Wow. And the Blessed. I'm trying to mainly focus on things I didn't see in my last shop with me. I will have that video linked for you if you're interested. I have a couple of those. Grateful, thankful, blessed. These are cute. So leaf decor. This is pretty weighty, very weighty. Hopefully you guys can hear me. The employees are talking loud, which is fine. Happy fall and be thankful. Here's another of the jars. That one's pretty. I like the color. That's $5. These are $1. Welcome autumn. Hello fall. This one's metal for $3. These are $5 for, we got the pumpkin patch and this fall sweet fall. These are only $1 each either. These are metal fall feels and give thanks. Little pillows. A lot of these are only $1. The air just came on really intensely. $3 for this cute sign. Be cute on a kitchen counter. I love the mugs. There's this one and this one. Definitely seeing more than I saw the last time, but I think the other store was just still working to get it put out. This little arrangement is $5. More little pumpkins, little wreath, $5. And then there's this one. And then there's this one. Really cute things in my opinion. Okay, we've got green dot, buy one, get one free. So, green dot. So I could get 2 for $2 basically. I do love these sales. This is cute. I bought a plain metal one once from here, $10, but if you combine it with a sale, it's great because you can decorate this any season by putting different things back here. All right, so I moved on fairly quickly because mainly I need to use the bathroom. I should have used the restroom before I left my chiropractor's appointment. I got to turn on the car. It is warm. I did not buy anything. I thought about the stencils, but it reminded me that I actually need to check the stencils at Hobby Lobby because theirs are about the same price. They're $1.99, but I think their fall stuff's already 50% off. So see if there's something that maybe I like better there. But Dollar General, pretty impressive when it comes to their decor. And one thing that's different than Dollar Tree, besides the fact that Dollar General actually has a lot of stuff that's $1, Dollar Tree still has some cute stuff, but you really have to pay attention to make sure there's nothing that's like janky or missing or something. And although that happens occasionally at Dollar General, not as often. But I really don't need anything. There were some things I was tempted by. Even in the sales section, I was considering some things, but I didn't. So let's get home. I got a bunch of stuff to do, and then we'll be making dinner later. That might be the next time I hop on with you. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm headed home. All right, so before I head in the house, I wanted to check our garden. The ones in the raised beds aren't doing super great. Well, they're doing okay, actually. It's a little bit of new life. I guess I'll show you those first. But Jesse told me he saw some exciting stuff on the ones we moved to the ground. So this cucumber plant, the new growth on it is doing good. Obviously the old stuff looks bad. Did I even show you that? Sorry, my camera screen is so dark it's hard to see. This one that I trimmed all the way back actually has some new growth. This one just did not when I cut that one all the way back. And I don't think these are gonna do anything, but they're growing. These, I don't know. I did just bring in 2 tomatoes from this plant, so it actually did produce. And the top stuff is all looking nice. So, I mean, who knows? We have had a lot of rain the last couple of days, so we haven't watered it. So whatever it's getting, we don't have any control over. Let's go back to the ones we put in the ground and show you how they're doing. So the 2 tomato plants here are actually doing pretty good. I mean, there's nothing, well, this has 1 tomato. If you can see it, it's so hard for me to see the camera screen. But the new stuff, I mean, it's getting taller and they're looking nice. This zucchini plant, the leaves look a little wilted from the heat, but we'll see. There's definitely 1 bad leaf. Ooh, there's a bug on it. The cucumber plant's looking odd. Remember, we didn't plan for this to be a garden, so there's a lot of stuff growing around here. This isn't doing amazing, but it's not doing, I mean, there's new stuff happening. There's a flower there. But then this zucchini plant, I think we're actually getting zucchini. Jesse told me he saw, yes, I think this one here is going to be a zucchini. We have only been having male flowers this whole year on all of our plants, but it looks like a zucchini. I might be wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. And who knows what else. So, I mean, they certainly look better than the other ones do. So next year, I think what we're gonna try to do, we're just pretending that's our fall garden. You know, still got quite a while left of our growing season. So I think next year we're going to plant in our raised beds again, but also plant in the ground, which we didn't think would work because we have clay soil, but I mean, those look pretty good. And the ones we're gonna plant less in a raised bed. I think they were too overcrowded. I think that was a huge part of the problem. So our first year doing a garden here in North Carolina, we hadn't experimented with that at all yet since we moved here. So who knows, but at least it's encouraging to see some type of progress. Okay, going inside now. I don't know if you can see it, but the wind, we have a storm rolling in, but the wind is blowing some leaves down. This tree here just started turning in the last couple days. Mostly everything is still green, but a storm is rolling in and I officially feel like it's an approved day to make soup. So let's go do that. All right, it's time to start making dinner. It's 10 after 7, but if you're not new here, that doesn't seem super odd to you. I am getting some chicken broth that I made and froze into a pot to warm up. I am making kind of a cheeseburger soup. Whenever I make these soups, I can't just stick to it. So it turns into like a cheeseburger, creamy potato vegetable soup. So I'm gonna try to tell you what I'm doing. It's always so good. It changes a little bit each time I make it, but it's always a favorite. I'm gonna cook up some ground beef. We're gonna put potatoes, onions, carrots, broccoli, maybe corn, garlic. It'll be chicken broth. As I say, the ground beef. We'll put in some bacon, cheese. We'll make like a cheese sauce kind of thing. It's really, really yummy. You can leave out any of those vegetables that you don't want. But anyways, let's get to cooking. I am in the process of cutting up all the veggies, but right now I have 2 potatoes, medium-sized potatoes that I peeled. I'm not peeling the other ones, but we're gonna actually use these to mash up and be as a thickener. So I cut them in half and I peeled them, and we're just gonna let these cook in here for a little while. I'm gonna put a lid on here because I don't want the liquid to all evaporate. I put 4 cups of chicken broth, and right now I'm cutting up some potatoes. I'm gonna cut up some carrots and some onions. I would do celery as well if I had celery. I don't really use celery except for like soup season, so I'll probably start picking that up soon. But we're just gonna let that go, and once these are softened, we're gonna pull them out and set them aside for later. All right, in this pan, I have 1 pound of ground beef, and we're adding in 1 onion. It was a pretty small onion, but now you can add the onion in with the other veggies if you want, but I've mentioned this before, but if you're new, I definitely like to have my onion cooked very, very well. So we're gonna brown this meat. It's a little bit frozen still, and cook the onion. And I'm gonna go ahead and check on our potato halves over here. Over here. No, they're not tender yet. All right, so the ground beef portion is pretty well close to being done. And then we'll just have to set it to the side. But I'm gonna season with some salt. It's nice to season the meat. Also, I'm gonna do a decent amount because I usually have to season my soup, salt my soup pretty good because my homemade broth does not have any salt in it. I'm gonna also add in some garlic while this finishes up cooking, and as soon as the meat is fully cooked, there's just a little bit of pink. I'm just gonna set this to the side, and we'll add this back in, or we'll add this into the soup towards the end. All right, let's give these a check. Okay, these are now tender, so I'm just gonna put these aside. Do you want broccoli and corn in this? I think I normally do that. Yeah. Okay. All right, so we got our potatoes. We're gonna set that to the side. Now here is the rest of the potatoes and carrots. I did probably like 4 to 5 carrots and I don't know, a few potatoes. I really don't measure, I just put in lots of veggies. So we're gonna add this, trying not to burn ourselves with hot broth. I'm gonna cover this and let that cook for a little while. Now they're cut up tender or small, so obviously they're not gonna take as long as the other potatoes. I do a mixture of fresh, canned, and frozen veggies. I'm gonna do frozen broccoli. I'm gonna do canned corn, and then these were both fresh. So just kind of your call. I'm gonna go ahead and pull my broccoli out of the freezer. I'm not gonna cook it at all. We'll just put it in here in a little bit. Depending on whether or not you're using frozen, fresh, or canned is gonna depend on when you add everything in. The fresh stuff takes longer. The frozen, a little bit less. And the canned, like the canned corn I can put in the end. It just really has to heat up. So just kind of keep that in mind. So I'm gonna let these go. I'm gonna turn this back up. I had lowered it a little bit. We're gonna bring that back up to a boil. And then maybe we'll start getting stuff together for the cheese sauce and like the thickener. My kitchen's kind of a mess because right before this, I was making my strawberry tea. I had started it earlier in the day and hadn't gotten around to it. So I finished it and I have a lot of stuff I need to clean up. All right, we moved over to another burner because we're gonna be working on the sauce in a second. The veggies are pretty soft, so we're gonna add in the frozen broccoli. We're also gonna add in a can of corn that's been drained. I did roughly chop up the frozen broccoli as well, just so that there wasn't super huge pieces. Now at this point, there's not enough broth, but I know I've made the mistake in the past of adding in more because when we add in the cheesy milky mixture, it's gonna add quite a bit. So I'm just gonna leave it for now. Plus the frozen broccoli will add in some liquid. So we're gonna let that cook and let's go work on the cheese sauce. All right, so I've got 5 tablespoons of butter melted. I used unsalted. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I had to pause because while grating cheese, I grated my hand, which seems to be a regular occurrence. We're gonna whisk in 5 tablespoons or so of flour. You wanna do equal parts of butter and flour. We're gonna make a roux, and then we're going to make it into like a cheese sauce. All right, whisking that so there's no clumps. I'm just gonna give the soup over here a stir real quick since there's not quite enough liquid in there yet. We're gonna add in 2.5 cups of milk. I do use almond milk and it seems to work just fine. But that's just because that's the milk that we use. You don't have to add it in all at once. You don't necessarily have to do it slowly, but I think if you build it up, you wanna get it warm, the milk warm, but not like boiling. I'm gonna do the half, and I'm just gonna pour the other cup and wait a minute before pouring that in. All right, we're gonna add in the other cup of milk. And once this warms through, we're going to start adding our cheese. But also over here, don't remember why that spoon was pulled out. I have the potato halves from earlier. And I'm just gonna smash them. Just covering the bowl so none of it goes flying. Forgot I need the milk still, so let me go get that. You can see I have the bacon from earlier chopped up over here too. We'll add that in a second. I just wanna add a little bit of milk to mix this together. And this is gonna be like a slurry almost to thicken up the soup. Just a little bit more. I learned that from a recipe from a long time ago. I don't know where I got it from. Like I said, whenever I do like potato or cheeseburger soups, I end up just kind of combining them all into what I like. We're gonna add close to 2 cups of cheese. I'm using a combination, I don't know what I just said, I feel like I stuttered there. I am using a combination of cheddar and Monterey Jack, just preference. I feel like the Monterey Jack is a little bit creamier. I like the taste of the cheddar, but do whatever you want. I'm just adding a little bit at a time and melting that down. All right, we're gonna go ahead and add, ooh, that's hot. All right, we're gonna add in everything that remains to this pot, and then we'll let it just cook for a few minutes together. Sorry for that loud noise. We're gonna add in our meat and onion. We'll add in our potato slurry type thing. If I have to add more chicken broth at the end here, I will. I'll just use like store-bought because I don't have any more homemade in the house. It's outside in the garage freezer. I'm gonna add in our cheese sauce. This is gonna be a full pot. Really scraping this out. I don't want to waste any of that. And this is about 6 pieces of bacon. You could also use some leftover ham or some of that like pre-cooked ham that you can buy. So I kind of just put anything that sounds good, but this looks delicious. I'm going to sample this really quick to see if I need to season it. Like I said, I don't put a lot of that in my chicken broth, so sometimes I need to, but I'd rather not overly season the soup and let it be seasoned on an individual basis. I don't ever put pepper in because I'm not a fan, so I let my husband do that on his. I'm trying to find a small little piece. All right, so the chicken broth, although it doesn't have any salt, it is very flavorful. So I think I'm just gonna add in some more salt. Remember, this is a very large pot of soup. That was maybe a teaspoon and a half, maybe. Give that a good stir. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Plus there was onion and garlic in there, so I don't need to add onion powder or garlic powder. I feel like there's just a lot of really good flavors in there. The bacon adds a ton of flavor. All right, we're gonna let that hang out for, I mean, it's plenty hot, you can tell, but I want everything to hang out together for a few minutes, and then we will be ready to eat. All right, so tonight was a eat on the couch type of dinner. And it was really good. But I was gonna have Jesse share his thoughts.
My thoughts are that it was like a combination of like a couple different kinds of soup that made the best soup. She needs to save the recipe and always use real bacon, and
I sometimes use ham or bacon, like the bacon pieces.
And no fake ham.
It's not fake ham.
It was very good. She put all the things in it.
Fake ham makes it sound like I use Spam. But he said that real bacon he thinks is better. And I can't totally say the recipe. I mean, I have this video. But as usual, I do this a little different each time, but every time it's so good. But yeah, it was really, really good. So
good.
We're going fall. We're bringing the soups back. It might be hot outside. Wow, Jesse's losing his vision. He's been cross-eyed over it. Anyways, it was really, really good.
I'm almost always cross-eyed. I just have to fight it to make them go straight.
That's not true.
Well, you weren't supposed to tell them about my problem.
Fun fact. When I was younger, was going cross-eyed. And if they hadn't caught it when I did, I would have been permanently cross-eyed. So don't try to take my cross-eyed. That was my thing.
Well, sometimes when I cross your eyes, it's not a bad problem to have. Hey!
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So, soup, good recipe. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.